going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Rust Mod. So in the last few episodes, we've been putting together this 1979 C3 Corvette that we actually had found in a guy's garage. Now, he ended up buying this Corvette, stripping the whole thing down, buying all brand new interior for it, and then he just never got around to putting the whole thing back together, so it sat for 20 years in the guy's garage. We got the phone call about it, we went over, checked it out, ended up grabbing the car, trying to save it, pulled it onto our trailer, and we ended up redoing the entire interior. Now, on the last episode, you saw us actually get this thing fired up for the first time in 20 years. So, if you recall, on the last episode, we had got most of the interior done, but the only thing that we had outstanding that we had to do was actually put the doors together. So we actually found a C3 at our local junkyard, and we're gonna actually yank the doors off of that car and get all the parts that we need to reassemble the doors on our C3. So let's go to the junkyard, cut these doors off, and then put all the parts onto this C3 so we can get this car complete. All right, guys, we're here at our local junkyard, and I ended up finding a C3 in the back lot here. Definitely destroyed, but there's some good parts we can use off of it. If you remember, the doors on ours don't have the door panels on them, and this one has door panels on it, but they're complete. So I think I'm gonna just take the whole doors off this car and use the interior parts, like all the locks and everything like that, for ours, so that way we can at least use some parts, because finding parts for these doors are really hard to find, and piecing them together is even harder to do. So we're gonna pull all this stuff off and then probably just cut the door off, because they latch from the inside here. So we'd have to crawl in there and unbolt them, and I don't want to crawl in this gross car. So I'm just gonna cut them off real quick, and hopefully I can get them off, and then we can use the inside of the doors with all the lock rods and everything like that out of these doors. So let me cut them off real quick. All right, we got the doors cut off, so we can use the insides of the locks and everything, and the handles and everything like that out of these doors. It actually even has the key in it. I'm gonna snag that because I might use that key for the lock on one of these doors. So I'm gonna use that, and then I'm gonna pull that glove box latch out of there, and we should be good. All right, got our doors inside here. So this is basically what we're working with here. Now, the only reason I got these was because I need all the rods and stuff for like the lock mechanisms and everything inside the door, and buying them individually would be kind of hard because they don't really sell like a kit where like you get everything, and it's very expensive if you were to try to find something like that. So these doors are pretty much what I need. So I'm just gonna pull the panels off, pull all the guts out of the doors, and then basically just stick them into these doors. These ones actually are pretty complete-ish, but it's missing all the power lock stuff, which I have some of, but I'm just missing the rods and everything like that go to the door. Just get those ones, pretty much put everything from there into here, clean everything up, and then I can finally put the door panels on and get the interior complete. So other than that, the glove box, I'm missing that latch, but I grabbed that. Hopefully that will keep the glove box door up. And then on the interior, that's basically it. There's some small stuff like the steering wheel center is missing, and I gotta put the bezel around that. And then just try to get this carburetor figured out. I think this carburetor, it works better than the other one, but it's missing the choke, it's missing a bunch of stuff. It does run. So I actually got a rebuild kit for the Holly, so I'm gonna rebuild that one. It seemed like it'd be fit a little bit better than this one. Put that on here, and then use that on something else. Rebuild that one, try to find the parts for it, and then this thing should be pretty much done. Going to get some wheels and tires for it and stuff, and then lower it a little bit, but should be a good fun driver for the summer. So hopefully we can knock this stuff out and finally get this thing back on the road here. All right, got the door panels off. So these are the rods and stuff that we're missing up here for the door locks and everything like that. These are in there, but all the other ones over here are not. So just gonna pull all this stuff out, basically just transfer it to the doors on the car. All right, so basically this is what I need out of the door. This one goes to the armrest, and then this one goes to the door lock, and then this is the power lock. So I have new ones of these, so I just need basically like mechanisms like this, and then I need all of the stuff for the handles and basically the whole lock assembly here, and then some other little pieces. So pull that out, clean this up, and then I have new lock motors, or at least ones that are in better shape than this one. These were riveted in, so I'm gonna have to bolt those in, and then put those in, hook them up to the plug. It's kind of weird, my other door has another plug for something. Maybe someone was gonna put speakers or something in there. Not really sure. Anyway, gonna put the whole assembly back in the door, and then hopefully that will work for the locks on this side. Then gonna do the same thing on this door, take it all apart, put it back in on this door. And this door is missing the handle. The other thing I'm also missing is the key locks themselves. So I'm gonna try to pull them off of this door also, but get in here somehow and pull the locks out. That way we can have locks, and then I have the key for it also. But anyway, if you guys are looking for a budget way to build a car like this when you're missing a bunch of pieces, check your junkyards, because I was surprised they have a C3 in the junkyard, but worked out pretty well. Saved some money on all these little nitpicky stuff. All right, I pulled the lock out of here, and so here's the lock that we have. And I figured out where the rest of the wires go. So basically, the lock clips in with this, and I guess when you turn the lock, it'll hit this button here, and then it'll unlock the doors. So that's how it's tied into the power door locks. So that's pretty cool. So I can just take this stuff, and then I'll go plug it into the new door. But I'm gonna clean this one up. Looks like somebody primered it. So clean it up and then stick it in the new door. Alright, so we got the whole lock mechanism in there. I got the door lock in there, and then this is the lock thing that goes down to the lock motor. I had to drill these out and then put just nuts in them because they're riveted on the original door, and then that will have to go there, and then this rod goes to the door panel, and then that's how you lock and unlock the door manually. So anyway, got that all in there. Gonna tighten everything down, and then I guess we can try to put the door panel on this thing. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so back on the Corvette doors, we ended up ordering new handles and new locks. So I got the passenger side all together. Got the lock rod from the junkyard doors, handle and everything. Everything is hooked up. So shut the door. Shuts good, and then door handle works. Then you can lock it. Door handle doesn't open. Unlock it, and then works good. You have no idea how long that took to get that to work. So tight in those doors, really hard to get your hands in there, but got it going. So now I got the other door done that you guys saw. So the next thing we have to do is take it back over to Joe's. He's gonna do the door panels, put it back on, and then the interior should be pretty close to being done. We're missing the glove box support, the speaker grill for that side, and a radio, and then the speedometer and the tach don't work. Gotta hook the speedometer cable up, and the tach I think it's just a broken wire somewhere. Got to source that. All the other gauges work. So gotta get the speedometer, the tach working, put the rest of this door back together, put a radio in it, and the windshield's cracked, but we can get to that later. So pretty much everything on the interior is done. Hopefully in the next clip you'll see us dropping this thing off at Joe's, knocking these door panels out, and should be pretty dialed for patina party. Also gonna get them to get the carpet and stuff. It's kind of, I think the seat is bringing the carpet in, so I'm gonna get them to adjust that. Stuff like this needs to be looked at. So gonna get little detail stuff like that on, but car's really coming together. All right, just picked the Corvette up from Joe's Superior Interiors. He got the door panels knocked out. Man, it looks really nice in there now. Really completes the whole interior. These things are super nice shape. They're brand new. He got all the door locks and all the window switches and everything hooked up. Super nice. Really happy we got this thing knocked out. I think it turned out awesome. So check out Joe's Superior Interiors. I'll put his phone number and stuff up here so you guys check him out. But this is pretty low level builds that he's normally does really high end stuff. So he's an awesome guy to know. Alright guys, we finally got our 1979 C3 Corvette done. At least done for now. We have some upgrades that we're going to do in the future, but for now it does run, drive, stop, and it looks good and it's actually complete. So let me give you a walk around of what we did so you guys can see all the progress on this thing. So we ended up actually going through the whole thing and we put all the emblems and stuff on. Whenever we got it, it was missing the bottom grills and all the lights and stuff were undone because the guy painted it. So we got all that stuff put back in, and he actually had all of those parts whenever we found the car. They were just in bins. So we went through all the bins and put everything back on. Once we went through all the bins and stuff, we ended up finding emblems and stuff. So like on the side here, we ended up putting the emblems back on and we cleaned up everything. All the trim and everything like that was in the boxes. Joe from Joe's Superior Interiors that did the interior, he actually put the back glass in too. We actually had to source this. We went to Pennsylvania, got it from a parts car and put that in. The entire doors and everything are completely done. So we got the door panels in and it looks great. All the parts from the Junkyard Corvette have fit in here, and we put all the rods and everything that we were gonna have to source before from the junkyard car into this car, and it worked really well. So we have all the door panels in, all the interior pieces in, and it looks really good. On the back of the car, we actually put in all the tail lights and stuff. All the bulbs and everything weren't in it, so we had to source all those, and we actually had all the tail lights and stuff in the boxes and everything that was with the car whenever we found it. So all the little trim pieces are there, and it's really nice. We're only missing like one Corvette emblem that we have to order and a bunch of little tiny trim pieces, but most of the car was there, and we actually got the whole thing put together from the parts that he had stored in the bins. So pretty nice. The only thing that we had to buy was we actually ended up getting a new dash pad, and we had to buy like a sun visor, and that's pretty much it. So all the other stuff he had stored and was really nice. So we ended up getting everything in the bins and putting the whole car together from that. On the interior of the Corvette, we are missing a panel on top here for the speakers. There's no speakers in the car, so we're gonna have to source that stuff. We did fit a radio in there, so we're gonna have to wire that up. The gauge cluster still doesn't work, so we're gonna have to wire some stuff there. But the rest of the car is pretty much done. The windshield's still cracked, we do need to source that, but everything else is ready to go. The interior fit and finish is really nice. All this stuff went together really well, and I'm really happy with the way it came out. Big shout out to Joe's Superior Interiors for knocking the interior out. All right, so that's gonna do it on our 79 Corvette that we found sitting in a garage for 20 years. Now, we do have some stuff in the future that we're gonna knock out on this thing. It does have a lifter tick and some other issues that we're gonna have to sort, but for the most part, you turn the key and you can drive it pretty much anywhere, and it's a really, really nice Sunday cruiser. So we do have to finish a little bit of odds and ends on it, but you'll see that on a future episode. We're planning on doing some suspension upgrades, doing some wheels and tires, and a bunch of aesthetic upgrades like that. We might do an engine swap in this in the future, but we'll have to see where we go from here. But that's gonna do it for the Corvette now. It's finally back on the road and it looks absolutely great. Definitely one of the nicest cars we've ever had on the channel. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you wanna see all the updates on the Corvette in future episodes. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.